negotiate. We will no longer tolerate it. We will no longer be afraid. It's your turn to be afraid.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now this week, of course, nothing going on again except for the whole Ukraine-Russian bullshit. I could care less. The Democrats want you to go, or want us to go to war. That's the whole point. They want World War III with Russia. Fucking retards. Anyways, now all that's still going on. Of course, now all of a sudden we got a new variant. It's killing everybody. Again, that's going around now. It's so stupid. Fucking Democrats, far left. They're so fucking retarded. People ain't buying their shit anymore. It's all lies. Everything that they've said has been nothing but lies. This illegitimate administration, whatever. It's all bullshit. Anyways, those were the big stories. That's all that's really been going on lately. I wanted to talk to you about a show that I just got done recently watching. Season 2 of a show called Upload. Basically, the show is about a guy who gets killed, and he is put into this virtual reality. They're able to download their consciousness into a virtual reality world just before they die. Well, he gets killed because he was getting ready to make this virtual reality world to where everyone could go inside instead of just rich people. And he got killed for it. And the first season is him just figuring out what exactly happened to him. The second season, he's more into trying to figure out exactly who all was involved and why it happened. Now, he knows a couple of people that was involved, like his ex-partner and his girlfriend's father. What he doesn't know till later on is that, you know, his girlfriend was also kind of involved. Sort of. She knew about it, but she wasn't like directly involved in it. Just because she knew something was going on with her father. Now, she's been pretending to have killed herself and uploaded her own consciousness into the program so she could be with him. But in reality, she's actually just wearing a VR suit through the entire season. He eventually finds that out, though. Now, Nora, or whatever her name is the black girl that's supposed to be his girlfriend or whatever in reality. They kind of split apart for a while. She goes and joins some radical group that's against the VR world, or Upload is what they call it. She gets involved with that crew for a while, and eventually comes back and finds out what all's going on. He wants to stop him. He wants to stop Upload from doing some of the shady things that they're doing. So he finds out that his girlfriend, that they've been experimenting with clones, and that they've been trying to clone somebody from Upload and download them into a new body, a clone body. So he figures this out, and he decides he's going to download into his clone body that his girlfriend had made for him, which he does. Now he's on a mission to stop Upload and kind of set things right, try to help the poor. I don't know, it's like that. And it kind of ends off with this new girl they brought in, kind of taking Nora or whatever her name is, his place, helping out as what they call them angels, basically, like customer service reps or whatever. Well, this new girl, she kind of starts falling for him, just like the previous one. So she goes and tries to find out what happened to him, because he's no longer in the system, because he's downloaded himself into his clone body. So she's trying to figure out what happened to him, and she asks for help, and one of the other reps tell her, just use the backup system to backup file for him to reintegrate him into the system. So she does that, kind of like, you know, if you did something or screwed something up on your computer, you can always go back and to a previous time before, you know, it went sideways or whatever, and start from there and re-download the backup file so that you can start from there. Well, basically it's similar to the same thing. She's basically re-uploading an old copy of him into the system, and you see it towards the end of the final episode. You know, none of the downloads have worked into a new body. They've always died somehow, and you see that his nose starts to bleed at the end of the final. So you're guessing that he's probably going to end up dying. The clone body he's in right now. So now there's going to be two of him, one in the computer system and one in the outside world. And that's where they ended off. So we'll see what happens in season 3, if they decide to go with the season 3. I hope they do, because I'd like to see the continuation of the story and find out what happens. It's not a bad show. It's actually pretty funny. His buddy that's in the virtual system, he actually kind of makes the show funny. There's a little far left ideology in it, a little bit, but not a whole lot. Like I've said before, you kind of have to ignore that kind of shit because it's in everything now. They keep trying to push that crap. You just got to ignore it and get past that. So the story's not bad. The show's not bad. Go ahead and give it a watch. I guarantee you, if you're into sci-fi and comedy, you'll like this show. Upload. 2 thumbs up. Check it out. Okay. Let's get on to your B-movie review. Okay, movie-holics. This week is Sci-Fi Week. The first one is considered a classic, maybe even a cult classic. You know, it didn't get the best reviews when it first came out, but you know, over time, again, a lot of times, some of these movies, they kind of don't do so well at first, but then later on, it's like they become cult classics. This could also be considered a horror flick, but it has a little bit of a horror element, but I consider it mostly sci-fi. It does have a little bit of action too. So the movie's called Scanners, a Canadian film that was done in 1981, which starred Michael Ironside and Jennifer O'Neill. Now, I love Michael Ironside. He's an amazing actor. He been a favorite of mine for a long time. He's done a shit ton of B-rated flicks, but he's also done some A-grade list stuff too. So he's a pretty fairly well-known actor. He just, you know, he's a star, but he never made like superstar status. I think he should have. He's a really good actor. Anyway, the story is basically about this company. I can't remember what, Onsect or some shit like that. I can't remember what the name of the company was. Anyways, about this guy called Dr. Ruth or whatever. He created this experimental drug called Iferol or some shit like that, and he gave it to pregnant women. It was supposed to ease their pain, and it helped the pregnancy go along a lot smoother. Well, it had a side effect. It created telepaths, which they call scanners. You don't know it at first, but you find out later on in the movie. He did this to his own wife, and both times that, you know, she gave birth, she had 2 sons, or he had 2 sons. But while the older son knew about it, the younger son didn't. He didn't know about his parents. Anyway, supposedly they find this main guy. He's off the streets, and Dr. Ruth, who works for Onsect, he tries to teach him to use his abilities and control them because he doesn't know how or whatever. They have this other guy called Rebek, played by Michael Ironside. And Rebek has been going on a killing spree and killing people, including scanners. So they send this guy, after they kind of train him a little bit, they send this new guy out to try to find Rebek and stop him. Well, it turns out Rebek is actually his older brother, and he wants him to join him and help him take down Onsect. But they kill Dr. Ruth, which pisses off the younger brother, and they kind of have it out, Rebek and the younger brother, which is called Vale. they kind of have it out, and Jennifer O'Neill kind of plays the girlfriend of Vale, and he kind of ends up doing something where he takes over Revok. He becomes Revok, and Revok enters Vale's body and dies. He, what they call suck him dry, which basically burns him up, kills him. So now Vale is Revok, and his girlfriend, who's called Kim, played by Jennifer O'Neill, they go off to live happily ever after, blah, 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 or supposedly. And that's the end of the movie. So, the acting was okay, I guess. There were parts in it where the main guy, played by this guy named Vale, or the guy who plays Vale, the character Vale, I don't know, he wasn't the greatest of actors, to be honest. You know, he had these one-line quirks, and it was just weird. It just felt scripted, like there was no emotion in his face when he was saying the lines or anything. It was really weird. It was like he was a robot or an android. But Michael Ironside was awesome, as he always is. Kim O'Neill, or Jennifer O'Neill, who played the character Kim, she was fine. Most of the others were fine. It was just the main guy that played Vale. He was really stiff. Other than that, the show was awesome. It was a pretty good movie. It wasn't bad for what it was, especially at that time. Now, the show made about, at the box office, about made 14 mil, which wasn't too bad for back then in '81. Decent sci-fi flick, something different. Wasn't too bad. You know, I give it 2 thumbs up. It's a pretty good movie. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. I definitely highly recommend it. Now, the next movie is, of course, its sequel. And there's about 5 or 6 of these. I'll try to get to them as best as I can. I think I'll go ahead and watch all of them, because they all seem, so far, everything seems pretty good. The sequel stars David Hewlett and Isabella Mays. Now, there was no box office numbers on this. It was done in 1991. You probably know David Hewlett, or Hewlett, from Stargate Atlantis. He's on SG-1 too a couple of times, but he plays on Stargate Atlantis as Rodney. He's a pretty decent actor. He stars in this. He's really young. In the sequel, you know, they were still giving the drug out even after they stopped Revok. The drug was still being produced and given to some pregnant women. So you still had some babies out there who were becoming scanners. Now it's been several years later. David Hewlett, he plays the son of Vale and Kim. The characters Vale and Kim from the first film. There is a doctor who's experimenting on scanners, and a police commissioner or whatever, or chief or whatever he is. He's a commander of the police force or some shit. devised a scam to where they would use scanners to work for them. But they keep getting messed up scanners. Scanners have just gone nuts. So they developed a drug, but it's highly addictive to calm them down and control them. Most of the scanners they give the drug to turn in what's called zombies because they're addicted to the drug, and then they're not useful anymore. They have one who's very powerful and he's psychotic. They call him like Drake or some shit like that, or Drac or something. I can't remember. Anyway, they tried to get David to work for them, and he kind of turns on it because he's just like, hey, I'm not like that, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't take the drug. They go after his parents and kill them, or Drac does, Drake or whatever his name is. He realizes the doctor and the commander of the police force are bad dudes. So he meets up with his older sister, which he didn't know he had until his parents finally came clean and told him that they weren't his real parents, that Vale and Kim was from the first film. So he goes and sees his older sister, and then him and his older sister go and take out the good doctor and the commander of the police force. They go and take them out, release the other scanners, and try to help them out. One of them happens to be his sister's boyfriend or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And together, all the scanners, there's like 5 of them left that the doctor's been keeping hold of. They all turn on Drac or Drake or whatever his name is, and they burn him up, bleed him, or suck him dry, or whatever you want to call it. The commander, you know, confesses to what he's been doing. David and his sister end up leaving him deformed because they force him to tell everybody or confess to what he's been doing. So he gets arrested and he's all deformed and shit at the end of the movie. Anyways, it was an alright movie. It wasn't bad. You know, you had some decent acting in it. You know, I give it 2 thumbs up. It's a pretty good movie. Check it out if you want. I highly recommend it. It's not bad. I'll try to get to the others soon. There was a couple offshoots as well. I don't know if I'll get to them. We'll see. But anyways, that's all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in this video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you can think of any movies you think I may never have seen or heard of that you think it might be highly underrated, really good movies, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you've just been told.